Welcome to Ali's front garden.
Yes, my front yard.
So Ali, how did you start in the performing arts?
I was a very active child, and we had a new television set in our house, and there was a fantastic program called Happen In, where Pete Sinclair and the go-go dancers would liven up our lounge room. And I used to dance along with them, and my mother thought, oh, she's going to be a performer, so she started sending me off to classes and to auditions. And my first role was at the age of 5 in The King and I as one of the children. So that's how I started in amateur theatre, and yeah, the story just grew from there.
So how did ITI start?
In 1996, I had been the director of a company in New Zealand where we did corporate theatre. One of the things we did was a Fawlty Towers themed night at the conference centres around the place. And I moved then to Australia and didn't quite know how to break into the Australian theatre scene, so my husband encouraged me to start doing Fawlty Towers, which is what I knew. And I thought, yeah, that's a great idea. So for 6 months I'll do this thing, and here we are 22 years later.
ITI is now 22 years old, and you have shows that have travelled all over the world.
Yes, that's right.
Did you always have a vision of an international company that developed multiple shows?
When we started, I thought it was only going to last for a short amount of time, and we would do it, but it gained momentum, and we started getting other actors involved, and so it became something that really took off. And so I still didn't get in and get myself an agent. It's just grown organically. So in 2008, we took the Fawlty Towers show to Edinburgh Festival Fringe for the very first time, and it was a massive success, and that really was the launch for us on the international scene. We had international promoters come and see us at Adelaide Fringe and at the Melbourne Comedy Festival, but it was the Edinburgh Fringe that really launched us.
Over your time working in theatre, what have been some highlights of your career?
I think travelling to such amazing countries, and I haven't even been to all of the countries that the show has performed in. Some of my highlights: Iceland. We did some shows in Reykjavik. Beautiful country. Performing at the Sydney Opera House. We performed there on an annual basis, and I was lucky enough to do that. The Royal Albert Hall was another great one. Norway, beautiful country, and the people, the theatres, the Netherlands, the theatres there are amazing. Denmark, so many highlights.
ITI is largely built around the global success of Fawlty Towers, the dining experience. And now you're doing another tribute show, Only Fools, the Cushty dining experience. Even though both shows do use their own original script and format, over which you have copyright, there has been talk that you are infringing copyright of the shows, the TV shows. Is that true?
It's an area that people don't really understand very well. And we have a legal team that actually advises us really well. Copyright refers to the words that are actually written on the page. So in the case of Fawlty Towers TV series, the copyright for that, the actual words on the page, belongs to John Cleese and Connie Booth. To infringe that copyright, you need to use substantial part of an episode that's obviously lifted. Same with the Only Fools show that we do. Copyright owners for that are the John Sullivan estate. We don't actually use any of the words on the page from the pages of either of those TV shows. So no, we don't infringe copyright. You cannot copyright ideas. For example, you can't copyright the idea that one person goes and places a bet on a horse, because that's a regular occurrence in life. We have taken some of the ideas that are well known in the TV series, and we've created our own storyline around those things. Yes, we own the copyright on those scripts. And you can't copyright characters, because the words on the page say the name of the character, and then it says the line that character says. It doesn't breathe life into those words. The people that breathe life into those words are a combination of the actor that portrays, that speaks those lines, the costume designer that puts a costume on the character, the director who tells you how to move, the tone of voice that they want you to use. There's so many people that are adding to that, so you can't actually copyright a character.
What about copycat shows? Ones that copy your format and scripts?
Dining shows that people refer to as copying us, most likely going to be doing a similar style of thing. The only thing that I really get concerned about is using stuff that we have specifically written, and we have some things that are specifically written for our shows, and also using our name. Some companies have even advertised themselves as us using our reviews and using our images. So that's quite annoying. I have a great team of people who really monitor that. I don't really claim ownership of a format for dining experiences, although we have really developed a very specific way of doing things, and we send that information to all of our venues.
So on to the Imagination Workshop Hub.
Yes.
What gave you the idea to develop a hub for Edinburgh Fringe this year?
Actually, it was Jared. Jared, who is our global business development manager. He has been coming up to the Fringe, and we have this fabulous venue in Edinburgh that we do our shows in, called The Principal, soon to be renamed the George Hotel again, which is what it used to be called before it was The Principal. And we have a really good relationship with them there, and they've talked to us over a couple of years about bringing other shows in. So it's been Jared's project.
What's the vision for the hub? What do you hope people will get out of it and remember it for?
Primarily, we have tried to program immersive, interactive things that are going to break the fourth wall, things that do break the fourth wall, that there is some form of interaction in it. I'd like to think that people will recognise the hub for those types of shows. We've actually got 2 other shows coming to the hub that also include dining, so that's really exciting, because we have a fabulous space called the King's Hall where we set up a lot of the dining shows. Yeah, I'd like it to be known for interactive and for doing a lot of dining.
What have you learned so far from developing a hub for Edinburgh Fringe?
Okay, steep learning curve. We never thought it was going to be easy, but we did, I think, underestimate the amount of communication that needs to be had with the people that are going to be performing at the hub. So we're pleased that we're starting relatively small. We've got 8 acts apart from our 3. So there are 11 shows happening at our hub this year. So we're starting small and manageable. But every day we learn something new. We learn something about ticket sales. We learn something about communicating ticket sales with our people. We're learning about bringing over international artists to the hub. All those sorts of things. But challenging, but fun.
Ali, do you have any advice for anyone else looking to become an artistic director of their own theatre companies?
Do it. Do it, but expect it not to be the easiest thing, but do it. If it's your passion, do it. Do it.